deep breath. Canely sets. 3-2. Swinging a line drive. Base hit into right. Mariners win it. Crawford into score. Dugout erupts. Chases down Polanco. And the Mariners in 15 innings have ended the Tigers' season. And they'll be heading to the American League Championship Series for the first time since 2001.
Dan Dickerson on the call. 97.1 The Ticket, the Tigers Radio Network. That is how it ended. Game 5 of the American League Divisional Series between the Tigers and the Mariners. And as he said, Seattle now on to the American League Championship Series. It could have been so different so many times. Good evening. We're going to try to unwind this one for you. Well, good morning. Exactly right. Great to have you here, Dan Miller, Will Birchfield. Hammer's going to join us from Seattle coming up in just a bit. Birchie, one of the most incredible playoff games in baseball history. 15 innings, 15 pitchers, so many chances for both teams. Edge of your seat stuff. Wasn't always great baseball. There was some fundamentals missing at times.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's Seattle that came up with a big hit.
Just a devastating, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching way for this Tigers season to end. It felt like they had escaped death maybe 4 or 5 times before it eventually came for them. But I agree, a historic game that we'll remember, these fans from both cities will remember for a long time, maybe forever. That is one for the record books.
Longest playoff game in Tiger playoff history. Longest elimination game in baseball history, 15 innings. There was a lot going on in this one. And look, we went into this game talking about Tarik Skubal. He did not disappoint. And one of the downsides here is he had a historic performance tonight, and the Tigers could not turn that into a victory. Take it back, show you some of the amazing things he did. 13 Ks, 7 in a row at one point. That's a new postseason record. 10 strikeouts through 4 innings with no walks. That had never been done before. Into the 6th inning he went. Pitch count, that'll be what A.J. Hinch says ultimately got to him. 101 on his final delivery to Cal Raleigh. Struck him out. But after that, he was done for the night after 6. There will be questions about maybe there should have been a 7th inning and keeping the ball in his hands, because it is in that next inning. He left with a 2-1 lead. In that next inning, they gave up the tying run.
Yeah, and we'll get into that, but I just want to echo what you said. Just an incredible performance by Tarik Skubal, who gives you everything he has in his heart, in his arm, like in his baseball soul every time he takes the mound. And tonight was the epitome of that. 26 swings and misses on 18 swings on his changeup. He had 14 whiffs, and in his final inning, these were his velos on his either sinker or fastball. 98, 99, 100, 99, 99, 101, 100, 100, 99, 101.
101 to end on his 99th pitch.
You know, we asked him in the pregame show to give us a Verlander-type, put the team on your back performance, and it felt like to me he did everything he could to do that, and maybe just came up 1 inning short because of the early pitch count and how it began to climb in the first 2-3 innings. And look, I said it to you when they pulled him. I think in a situation like that, in a game like this, you have to trust your ace. If you know that Will Vest, your best reliever, is good for 6 outs, you have to trust your ace to get you 3 more, get you through the 7th, despite the fact that he's thrown 99 pitches, despite the fact that his career high is 107. Give him that ball in the 7th inning. Maybe he goes batter by batter, but if he can get you through 7 and Vest can finish that game off and you avoid the bridge between your best pitcher and your best reliever, the Tigers probably win that game. And I understand this is an easy time to second-guess the decision, and I do want to reference AJ's explanation. He was asked about this post-game, and this is what he said. He said it was, quote, an easy decision. He said after the 5th, he checked on Skubal, how he was doing physically and emotionally, and we both knew then that he had 1 inning left, and he said he emptied his tank. Once Skubal came off the mound in the 6th, emotional and sort of yelling, he could tell that was a signal that he was done. And so I understand why they came to the decision they did, but I guess the more old school baseball fan, baseball watcher in me would have preferred to have seen Skubal get one more chance, one more inning to pitch his team into the ALCS.
So that was A.J. Hinch talking about Tarik Skubal. Also afterwards, the Tigers manager talked about just trying to put this game and this season into perspective as it ended tonight.
Start by saying congrats to Seattle. You know, Jerry, I go back a long way with Dan. I've just gotten to know. I mean, that was an incredible win for them, which means it was an incredible loss for us. But I wish them well in the next round. That they earned it, and that was an epic game. As far as my team goes, you know, yeah, I spent some time with them to thank them. You know, we had an incredible game today that unfortunately somebody had to lose, and that somebody was us. And it hurts, you know. I mean, that group is, they gave everything they could. You had guys pitching on short rest. You had players giving everything they had because this was game 5, and we wanted so badly to take the next step, you know, as a team. And so I wanted to thank them. You know, we have nothing to hang our head down on, and there's going to be plenty of time to talk about, you know, the season, this game, the peaks, the valleys. But I'm extremely proud of that group in there for what we accomplished and how we fought tonight to try to extend our season.
Yeah, and a little bit of what we've seen throughout September, that offense just coming up empty. 3 likes and 0 replies on X tonight, tweeting this out. Kerry Carpenter tonight. 800 average, 4 for 5, 1 run scored, 2 RBIs. Every other Tiger hitter, .087, 4 for 46, 1 run scored, no runs knocked in. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We'll check in Seattle again. When we return, Tiger Postgame Show, they fall, season over. Seattle moving on to the ALCS.
The 1-0 fly ball right field. Deep. Is it playable? Rodriguez going back. He's looking up. And it's gone. A home run. How about it? Kerry Carpenter.
Again, Dan Dickerson on the call. Kerry Carpenter, just a wrecking crew in this game that I just didn't have any help with the rest of that lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you see why A.J. Hinch bat him at the top of the lineup, because he forced the Mariners into an early decision, and they go to the lefty. He leaves Carpenter in, and he takes the lefty deep. He has a playoff track record now. Like, his legend is growing. Go back to the ALDS last year, big home run against Class A, the bigger home run in Game 1 this year, the big home run tonight. That's a guy that you can clearly count on in big spots moving forward.
In Seattle tonight, one clubhouse having a ball. The other clubhouse, man, it is a brutal way to see your season end. Hammer was in there moments ago. Let's go live to her now. That's a tough night for the Tigers, Hammer. Somebody was going to lose this game, and it was going to hurt after 15 innings.
Yeah, and as we were watching this thing unfold, and I texted you guys, I think, at the bottom of the 8th inning, and I'm like, I'm going downstairs, come what may. I watched the better part of that game on television down below with some people from the Tigers front office. There were some family members down there, other media members, and it was just crazy to watch it. And as you guys talked about, kind of the legend of Kerry Carpenter unfolding and growing with tonight's game, so too did Tarik Skubal's legend and star, right? I mean, this guy was unbelievable, untouchable. He joins Bob Gibson and Garrett Cole. Think of those names as just the third pitcher in Major League history to have multiple 13K games in the postseason. Skubal just happened to do his both in the same season. I mean, it's unspeakable what he did, really. He was amazing. But after the game, certainly he didn't want to do any of the talking about himself and his accomplishments. Instead, it was about the disappointment that this loss leaves.
Tarik, if you can just first take us through your performance. I mean, you really seemed like you were locked in and just mowing down guys. 7 straight sets a new MLB record. Just how did you feel about how you threw the ball tonight?
Yeah, I felt good. It doesn't really matter. We lost. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more. I don't really want to talk about myself right now, to be honest. Anytime you end the season on a loss, you're not going to be happy or satisfied. But, I mean, I get what he's saying. This kind of is the standard. The DS is the standard for this club. And that's awesome. Early in my career, we couldn't say the same thing, right? So to say that this is almost expected, I think is really cool. But it's tough when you end the season on a loss.
And certainly the standard now that Skubal was talking about the season should be is that they want to play for championships, right? This is a team that needs some work, needs some pieces. We all saw it late in the season. But Tarik Skubal, boy, he is such a great pitcher and such a huge part of this organization. The question now obviously will become, will they pay him? Will they be able to keep him here? Because he was absolutely masterful tonight, and it was just really fun to watch him pitch. But in the end, they just didn't have the arms in the bullpen to hold up. And you've got to imagine that he was a little bit gassed and tired, even though he was throwing 101 at the end to Cal Raleigh. But A.J. Hinch, I'm sure, in time will look back over how he did some things in that game and maybe have some regrets, but he's not the kind of guy that lives that way, nor does he speak about them publicly with us. So we'll send it back to you in the studio. But yeah, it really was a tough clubhouse to walk into tonight. But, there's a lot of things to be, I guess, looking forward to for next year about the floor for this team, where it kind of rises up to, and also the ceiling. They've got to get better, and the expectation is there for them to continue to progress.
All right, Hammer, thank you. Great job out there.
Thanks, Hammer.
Yeah, Birchie, we saw something historic tonight, but when it doesn't go your way, it's just historic pain, really.
Yeah, that one definitely hurts. And it turns the page to the inevitable offseason questions. I think we've probably seen Gleyber Torres play his last game as a Tiger, not because he performed poorly this year, just the opposite, but it seems like probably Kevin McGonigal is next year's opening day second baseman. And then I think this team has to look long and hard at Riley Green this offseason. Look, he is a foundational piece, but Does he need to make some adjustments in his swing and his swing path to be a more consistent hitter? 0 for 6 tonight, a number of short at-bats. I think he's someone that needs to look in the mirror and consider some adjustments moving forward.
Birchie, good stuff, man. We started this a long time ago.
Yesterday.
Exactly right. All right, we're done. Tiger season is over. It ends tonight in Seattle. Seattle on to the ALCS. Assuming Taryn's not asleep over there in that chair, Fox 2 News is coming.
Wake up!
Stick with us.
Kicker.